to All About That Disney Life. I am Danny B, the girl who is all about that Disney life. We now move on to our next Disney musical. It is Frozen, which premiered on Broadway in 2018. So here are the facts to this musical. Number one, the development. In January of 2014, Bob Iger, CEO of the Walt Disney Company, stated that Disney Theatrical Productions was in early development of a stage adaptation of Frozen that it planned to bring to Broadway. No date was set for the adaptation. In an October 2014 interview, Thomas Schumacher, the president of Disney Theatrical Group, disclosed that discussions about a musical had begun even before the film was released almost a year earlier. He stated, "I'm already talking to directors and I have a design concept and we have to begin to fashion this idea. It doesn't need to be fast, but it needs to be great." In February of 2015, Schumacher confirmed that the songwriters were working on the show and that Lee would be writing the book. In early 2016, Disney announced that the musical was scheduled to open on Broadway in spring of 2018 with Alex Timmers as director, Peter Darling as choreographer, and Stephen Ormus as music supervisor, among other creative staff. In the meantime, Disney produced a musical stage show based on the film Frozen, live at the Hyperon at Disney California Adventure, and another on its Disney Cruise Line. So the live Frozen stage that was at Disney California Adventure, this replaced the Aladdin Spectacular that used to be there. Disney scheduled the pre-Broadway tryout in August of 2017 at the Denver Center for the Performing Arts. Kristen Anderson Lopez told an interviewer that while the movie only has 7.5 songs, we've written about 23 for the musical. The musical's first development lab was held over 2 weeks during May of 2016 in New York City. By September 2016, Disney chose a new director, Michael Grandage. It confirmed that the musical was set to open on Broadway at the St. James Theater in spring of 2018. Rob Ashford joined the creative team as choreographer. The musical cost a reported $30 million to produce, and it went through 3 choreographers, 2 set designers, 2 Elsas, and 2 directors. Number 2, the productions. We will start off with the pre-Broadway tryout in Denver in 2017. A pre-Broadway tryout ran at the Buell Theater in Denver, Colorado from August 17th to October 1st, 2017, directed and choreographed by Grandage and Ashford. Designers included Christopher Oram for sets and costumes, Natasha Katz for lighting, and Michael Curry for puppets. Stephen Ormus served as music supervisor. Next up is the Broadway production, which opened in 2018 and closed in 2020. Previews on Broadway at the St. James Theater began on February 22nd, 2018, with an official opening on March 22nd, 2018. The cast and creative team was the same as in Denver. A reported 30% of the show was rewritten between the tryout and the Broadway opening, with the musical taking a deeper dive into the princesses' psyches and aiming at a more adult audience. Disney research shows that 70% of the audience for its musicals are adults without children. Anderson Lopez noted that examining how the princesses' psychological scars drive them to make certain decisions was the next logical storytelling step. The onstage technology included lighting effects for Elsa's magic, as well as such adaptations as a full-body costume to represent the reindeer Sven, with a ballet dancer inside holding stilts in his hands and walking on tiptoe. The role is so strenuous that a second ballet dancer was hired to play it at some performances to give each dancer some days of rest. The production played 825 performances and 26 previews at the St. James Theater, ending on March 11, 2020, when performances were suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The production cost about $35 million to mount, attracted attendance of over 1.3 million, and grossed over $150 million, often grossing 80% to 90% of box office potential. It did not perform as well like with The Lion King or Aladdin. Therefore, Disney chose not to reopen Frozen, judging that after the pandemic, running 3 of their shows on Broadway simultaneously would become untenable. Next up is the North American tour, which opened in 2019 and ended in 2024. A North American tour began on November 10th, 2019 at Proctor's Theater in Schenectady, New York. It was also suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Performances resumed on September 9th, 2021 at Shea's Performing Arts Center in Buffalo, New York. It closed on September 1st, 2024, having played 1,225 performances in 62 cities. Next up is the tour in Australia and Singapore, which happened from 2020 to 2023. An Australian production began previews on December 1st, 2020 at Sydney, Australia's Capitol Theatre. Following an outbreak of COVID-19 in New South Wales, performances of the production were suspended from December 21st, 2020, but resumed on December 26th. The run closed on May 23rd, 2021. The production moved to Melbourne's Her Majesty's Theatre in previews on June 25th, 2021 with the same cast, opening on July 14th, 2021 and closing on January 26th, 2022 after some performances were canceled due to the pandemic. It transferred to Brisbane's Queensland Performing Arts Centre on February 10th, 2022 and closed on May 8th. It then played at the Adelaide Festival Centre beginning on May 26th. The final stop of the Australian tour was Perth, where the show opened at Crown Theatre on August 25th, 2022 and closed on November 13th, 2022. A limited run of the Australian production played from February 5th to March 19th, 2023 at the Sands Theatre in Marina Bay Sands, Singapore. Next up is the production in Japan, which opened in 2021 and is still going on. Shiki Theatre Company produced the musical at the Heiru Theatre in Tokyo, owned by Shiki. After a postponement due to COVID-19, it opened on June 24th, 2021. Next up is the West End production, which opened in 2021 and closed in 2024. After delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the show began previews on August 27th, 2021 at the Theatre Royal, Drury Lane in London's West End and opened officially on September 8th. It was again directed by Greenidge with choreography by Ashford. Set and costume design were by Christopher Oram, with lighting design by Neil Austin. The production was nominated for 4 Olivier Awards, including Best New Musical and Best Actress in a Musical. On February 8th, 2024, it celebrated its 1,000th performance. By January 2024, more than 2.8 million people had seen Frozen in London. The production ran until its 3rd anniversary, which was September 8th, 2024. The production was filmed and released on Disney Plus on June 20th, 2025. Next up is the Germany production, which opened in 2021 and is still going on. A German production titled Die Eiskönigin, I hope I said that right, I don't speak German, opened in November of 2021 at the Stage Theater on der Elbe in Hamburg in German. The production was produced by Stage Entertainment. It closed on September 29th, 2024. On November 26, 2024, the production transferred to the Apollo Theater in Stuttgart. Next up is the Nordic productions. A series of 5 Nordic productions of the musical are planned to be directed by an Icelandic film director. I'm not even going to attempt this name because I can't, who was given the task of making them more Nordic in terms of story, music, and culture. The show was being produced by Icelandic theater group Vesturport in collaboration with theaters in the capital cities of 5 Nordic countries. There's one in Oslo, one in Reykjavik, in Stockholm, in Helsinki, and in Copenhagen. 2 of the productions had opened as of June 2024. The Norwegian production ran from October 14, 2023 to April 30th, 2024, and the Icelandic production opened on March 2nd, 2024. The Danish production is set to premiere on February 12th, 2026. All of the productions have been titled Frost. And finally, we have the production in the Netherlands, which opened in 2024 and is still going on. A Dutch production opened at the Circus Theater in The Hague on June 9th, 2024. It is produced by Stage Entertainment. Number 3, the awards. This musical won a Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Puppet Design. Number 4, the legacy and impact. The Broadway musical adaptation of Frozen has had a significant impact by expanding the story's emotional depth, enhancing its themes of familial love and female empowerment, and influencing the broader entertainment industry's approach to animated storytelling and stage technology. Number 5, the impact on storytelling and themes. The musical built upon the film's revolutionary themes, which marked a seismic shift in Disney's focus from male-centric romantic tales to narratives centered on sisterhood and self-acceptance. So, expanded character depth. The stage production added 12 new songs, including powerful ballads like Monster for Elsa, allowing for deeper exploration of the characters' inner lives and struggles with isolation and self-discovery. Emphasis on family love. Creators emphasized the true love between sisters Anna and Elsa, solidifying the message that familial bonds can be as powerful as romantic love. The musical specifically added a duet, I Can't Lose You, to focus on their complex relationship. And social relevance. The production aimed to be more socially relevant, with the creative team focusing on themes of finding one's power and dealing with leadership and relationships as a nuanced. three-dimensional woman. Elsa's journey has been widely interpreted as an allegory for the LGBTQ plus community and embracing one's individuality. Number 6, the legacy and influence. Frozen's success on stage has left a lasting mark on musical theater and pop culture. Commercial success. The original Broadway production and subsequent international tours like London's West End, Japan, Germany, and a North American tour proved the story's enduring global appeal, grossing significant revenue and reinvigorating local economies around touring venues. Technological innovation. The musical is noted for its impressive stagecraft, utilizing advanced LED productions, intricate stage designs, and innovative puppet work for Olaf and Sven that push the boundaries of theatrical visuals and special effects. A catalyst for new works. The show's critical and commercial success encouraged Disney and other studios to invest further in adapting popular animated properties for the stage and reinforce the value of integrating emotionally resonant music into narrative storytelling. Accessibility. The production was professionally filmed and released on Disney Plus in 2025, a move that makes high-quality theater experiences more widely available to global audiences, democratizing access to a traditionally privileged art form. The musical's impact is a testament to its ability to connect with audiences of all ages by blending a classic narrative with modern sensibilities, a powerful score, and a universal message of self-acceptance and love. So Frozen on Broadway, the musical, obviously you've heard of it, never went to see it because, my reasoning for this, how do I put this nicely? Basically because Frozen, the first movie, it came out in 2013, we're now in 2026, it is still popular 13 years later, it's nuts. And I always feel like it's a little girl, like kid musical, and you hear like Disney on Ice, you hear all the little girls singing, let it go, let it go. I thought it was going to be like that when, like with the musical, when it came out, and it's like, oh God, who wants to be in a theater with a bunch of screaming kids? Nobody wants that. But to find out through research that from the pre-Broadway tryout to it being on Broadway, they rewrote the entire thing to make it more adult oriented, I want to say. Like the fact that they at least did their research and are like, hey, you know about a good chunk of those who love Disney musicals, they don't have kids. So to make it like, oh, we're not going to make like a child musical per se, we're going to make it more for adults. I mean, like the child versions, those are at the Disney parks, obviously. Like the Frozen sing-along that used to be at Hollywood Studios, and then the show that was at the Hyperonic California Adventure, like those were more kid-friendly, I want to say. I like what Thomas Schumacher said about the musical, that like the fact that he knew that he could make this into a Broadway musical a year before the movie was released, like that's insane. And he said like it doesn't need to be fast, but it needs to be good, like it needs to be great, like we're not going to rush, because I feel like they knew that this was going to be a huge franchise and a big hit. And they didn't rush to make the musical right away. They just thought, hang on, Frozen might be a thing. Let's prepare in advance for a musical, and poof, there you go. But now, so we've had Frozen, which came out in 2013. We had Frozen 2, which came out in 2018 or 19, I can't remember. And now the Disney rumor, there is going to be a third Frozen movie. And Disney fans will know that like the lore of the Frozen universe, they want to see Elsa with Jack Frost from, what is it, Rise of the Guardians? That movie, they want to see that power couple in a movie together. There have been so many fan edits floating around the internet for years. Like, why not? But if they do ever come out with a Frozen 3, like it's going to, like obviously with Frozen 3, it has to be the wedding of Kristoff and Anna, obviously. And then like maybe Hans comes in to like object at the wedding. That would be interesting to get Hans back in on the third one. But who knows? So there you have it. Those are the facts to Frozen on Broadway. If you like this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you have a zippity-doo-dah day. Goodbye.